Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. I'm so pumped you're joining us today because we're diving into something super high stakes and honestly pretty adrenaline pumping hackathons. Specifically, we're unpacking step 2 of the Powerhouse Hackathon Guide series. We're going to break down exactly how to systematically lock in a winning hackathon idea before the clock even really starts ticking. We're taking a massive wealth of strategy and distilling it right down for you, so let's get right to it. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is a pretty harsh, undeniable truth about the hackathon world. Most teams literally lose before writing a single line of code. Why? Because they pick the wrong problem statement. It really is that simple. A bad problem statement means all your sleepless nights and hard work are going to lead absolutely nowhere. But a good one? That gives your team unstoppable direction, amazing energy, and a very real shot at taking home the prize. To guarantee your team avoids failure, we're using this exact tactical playbook today. We'll cover the 4 golden filters, validating your problem statement, navigating the minefield of mistakes, and finally, the final launch checklist. All right, section 1, the 4 golden filters, or how to run your idea through the ultimate stress test. Let's move to and see how this builds. These are your 4 non-negotiable filters: feasibility, impact, unique angle, and clarity. Every single problem statement has to survive these before you even think about committing to it. First up is feasibility. Basically, the reality check. Can you actually execute the scope? Like, can you build a working solution with meaningful features in that crazy short hackathon timeframe using skills and tools your team actually possesses? Say you want to build an AI crop disease detector with a smartphone. That's totally feasible if you limit it to a basic machine learning model and a simple UI. You just got to know your limits so you can push them effectively. Next up is impact. Your solution must have clear, measurable results. You need to be solving a real pain point where you can easily explain the before and after benefits to the judges. Think back to that agriculture example. If your solution helps a farmer detect a disease early, you're literally saving their crop yield and reducing their financial loss. That's a massive, undeniable impact. And this brilliantly illustrates the unique angle filter. Just look at the difference here. On the left, we've got another generic attendance app. Judges have seen that a million times, right? But on the right, offline first attendance with face recognition specifically built for rural schools with poor internet. Suddenly, you're not just building a basic app, you're tackling a highly specific, complex problem that other people have completely ignored. Finally, filter number 4 is clarity. I really want to challenge you with this exact question. If you explain your idea to a stranger in 10 seconds, will they get it? Can you explain it to anyone, technical or non-technical? Here's a perfect example. We help visually impaired students navigate college campuses using audio-based AR guidance. Boom. 10 seconds, and I know exactly what you're doing, who it's for, and how it works. Moving right along to section 2, validating your problem statement. This is all about moving from a gut feeling to a proven reality. Because when the clock is ticking, you absolutely cannot rely on just a gut feeling. So we're going to break down the exact 3-step validation process you must run your shortlisted idea through to make sure it's actually viable out there in the real world. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that reading just 2 or 3 academic abstracts from these specific sources reveals the true gaps way better than an hour of random Googling. Google Scholar is a super reliable starting point. IEEE Explore is amazing for engineering abstracts. ResearchGate connects you right to the authors. PubMed is your go-to for biotech, and Archive is perfect for the latest AI preprints. Seeing what's already been tried shows you exactly what works and where the gaps still exist. That gap, that's exactly where your unique angle lives. Oh, and if you're digging into this research and suddenly hit a paywall on a site like IEEE, here's a quick high-value hack for you. Just copy the exact title of the paper and throw it into Google Scholar or ResearchGate. Most of the time, you'll find a completely free PDF version uploaded directly by the author. It is an absolute lifesaver for hackathon research. Step 2 of validation is the reality check. You need to look at your team and honestly ask, can we actually build this in the given time? It requires brutal honesty. If even one person has a serious doubt, you've got to revisit the scope. And remember the golden rule here. Reduce features, not quality. Build a smaller, flawless product rather than a massive, broken one. The third and final validation step is the one-line test. You literally force every single team member to independently explain the idea in one sentence without looking at any notes. If your explanations vary, yeah, your problem statement lacks clarity. And worse, your team lacks alignment. You've got to rewrite it together until everyone is saying the exact same thing.
All right, Section 3, Common Hackathon Mistakes. This is the minefield you absolutely need to avoid.
Let's rapidly break down these 4 fatal traps that kill dreams before the coding even starts. First, trend chasing. Don't just throw AI or blockchain into an idea to impress the judges. Focus on what your team can actually execute. Pick strengths over hype. Second, impossible scope. Look, I hate to break it to you, but you're not going to solve traffic in India in a single weekend, okay? Focus. Third, skipping uniqueness. A new UI on an old app won't stand out. And fourth, team misalignment. Settle your differences before the timer starts. Mid-hackathon conflict will completely destroy your momentum.
Which brings us to the absolute climax of our explainer playbook, Section 4, the final launch sequence, your ultimate go, no-go checklist.
I want you to treat this like an elite coach giving a pre-game pep talk. You need to tick every single one of these boxes. Can you build a working prototype in time? Check. Do you know exactly who this helps? Check. Can you explain the impact in 2 sentences? Check. Unique approach, 1-sentence explanation, focused scope, unanimous agreement? You gotta lock all of these in. So the crucial point is that if even one checkbox is not ticked, do not move forward. Do not sweep it under the rug. Ignoring a single unchecked box is a guaranteed recipe for failure. Stop, discuss it with the team, and resolve it before you write a single line of code. Now, if you're highly motivated and want to sharpen your understanding of problem selection even further, definitely check out these hand-picked YouTube creators: Code Hunters, Service Joshua, David Taylor, and Research with Dr. Saeed. They are phenomenal resources to take your conceptual understanding to the next level. And that wraps up this explainer. I want to leave you with this final provocative challenge. Look back at that final launch sequence. If you can confidently tick all 7 of those boxes, are you ready to take the leap and move to step 3? Your winning idea is out there, just waiting for you to define it. Go lock it in. Thanks for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.